There were very, very few female directors. I can hardly think of enough to fill one hand.
And I can count on one hand the female directors I worked with as a script supervisor. So there were not that many.
I only met a couple of women that were doing features. Nobody in TV, and TV at that time was very closed. It was very much an old boys club at that time.
But it has increased by quite a margin.
I think when the CBC made that decision to go 50%, it was epic. I think it's epic because, for one thing, that is their role. They should be, carrying the torch. They should be leading culturally, making bold moves towards this is something we believe in, and just watch how great this is going to look.
A shift needed to happen, and it feels like there was a revolution that happened, and that, that's fair. I do feel like it was more politically based than altruistically based.
The talent pool, which is extraordinary, was still quite small. So there were outstanding women that we definitely wanted to get onto our set, but they were so much in demand that we couldn't. She's taken, and she's booked up till 2022.
It put a lot of people that weren't ready in the position of directing. And I feel like it's a sacred position that has sort of been devalued because it's as if anyone can do it. People haven't had to earn it.
I think this is something that every female director faces, and I'm sure most diverse directors face as well. You never know, and neither does the crew. What was the chain of reasoning that put you in the position you're in? So you don't know whether you're walking onto a set surrounded by people who are sort of saying, okay, check out the diversity hire or check out the female hire. You don't know. You have to kind of put all that aside and just get the job done.
The pathways to become a director has always been either a stunt coordinator or an AD or an editor or a cinematographer. And a lot of those categories are generally male dominated.
It's hard to not have a bit of an insecure reflex, or maybe that's just me. You don't know whether it's because I bring something special and magic, or it's, well, there's a gap for a female and I pretty much passed for female, so I might as well you don't know. It's funny. It can make you even doubt yourself.
I've heard people on set say, oh yes, episodic directors, that's the entry-level position on a TV set. There was a show that I came on where I had to replace a director, and she had she had less set experience than the set PAs. So I'm not sure that type of affirmative action it potentially can cause a lot of harm to, I think, really talented people because they're not ready.
But I think if I didn't have like the baggage of, I am, one of the creators of Flashpoint, so people look at you differently. I haven't had to sort of walk onto a set like, who the heck are you, and how are you going to prove that you deserve this?
The female directors come prepared because there is a lot of pressure to succeed. You don't want to be that one that didn't do their homework or didn't have that voice. And so you're constantly working around growing your directorial voice, but at the same time trying to be supported by the crews and by the studios and by the production.
The women directors who kind of followed in that parade were outstanding. The work they did was great, and it's a signal to the industry that this isn't charity we're doing to needy females. This is a legitimate industrial policy that is going to bring new points of view, new skills, new voices to the screen in a way that is going to be explosive and is going to be showing people stories the way that they haven't seen before.
I'm excited by the idea of diverse voices. Like, I feel like it's just going to make what we watch more interesting. Who the hell wants to see everything come from, guys that look like me? I mean, I think it just makes sense it's going to be more interesting, and there's going to be more interesting stories.
If we could somehow bring into even primary schools the idea that you can be in charge of how you are seen, of how someone else is seen, of your angle on a story, of what your experience is like. The people who write stories that are on TV now don't know what you know. You are the expert on your own experience. You are the insider, and you have something worth saying.